Good morning and welcome to day 5 on the trail. We've woken up this morning after our rest day. We've come into the town, we've gone to the grocery store and we're now on the trail. We've just started walking up. The plan today is to go back to the campground we stayed at last night, but we're going to go up, over, then catch a little bus back down. We're doing a big circle today, so that'll be fun. But first of all, let me show you what we got up to this morning.
I'm sorry, but how cute was Brenna's little map there? She made that all by herself and she was very proud of it. I thought it was pretty cute. So we arrived at this campground yesterday after our rest day. The plan for today is to camp in this same campground tonight. So we're going to get a bus to the town, we're going to hike the hike, and then we're going to get a bus back to this campground. Basically, all in the name of not having to carry a bag while we hike. A little bit lazy, maybe, or are we working smarter, not harder?
So it's breakfast time, and I realised I never actually show you what we eat. I just kind of do a time lapse, so I'm going to talk you through what my breakfast is today. We have day-old focaccia from yesterday, sliced tomato, sliced mozzarella, and fresh basil leaves. And then I got some of this speck here, which is like cured meat, which I'm going to do that too. Fold the focaccia over and make a delicious sandwich out of it. This is usually what we eat. It's easy to carry, it's delicious, it's kind of cheap. Not that we're being super cheap, but we are on a budget. And the fresh basil makes it delicious. But yeah, this is how we eat. Delicious. The focaccia was definitely better yesterday and we bought it fresh, but it's still good.
Turns out I didn't actually like that speck. My teeth wouldn't get through it and it definitely wasn't for me.
Every day running for the bus. So I shouted grazie when we got off the bus, but in my best Italian accent, not like I just did then, and the bus driver shouted back to me and Brenna thought it was a local. Grazie. Nailed it. Better than bonjour.
I'd say mine and Brenna's time management skills is normally pretty good, so I'm not sure why every single day we seem to be running for or nearly missing a bus. Oh well, I guess I'll have to get over it. Anyway, we went to the grocery store and we had to buy some stuff for lunch because, unsurprisingly, we're not organised and we have no food. So we got lunch, we got dinner, and then we got breakfast and lunch for the next day. After the disappointment of the speck, I've gone back to salami. I'm not messing around with that. And we've got some washing powder here. Stay tuned for that because that's an absolute disaster later. Absolute disaster. And of course, we got some sweeties. And for once, I didn't flash my bank card on the internet. Brenna's very proud of me.
Good morning from day 5 on the TMB. Technically day 6 because we had a rest day yesterday, but today we're actually hiking again. We haven't got our big bags with us. We left them in the campground. So if you watched yesterday's, you'll know that we camped for 2 nights at the Val Ferret campground. And today we're back in Courmayeur. And today we're going to do day 5/stage 5. We're going to go up, come back down, get the bus back to the campground. We haven't got a big bag, so you can see a little bum bag. Yeah, just thought I'd have a little chat about what we're doing today.
Walking through these cute little towns is possibly one of my favourite parts about the whole trail. This is my meticulous way of measuring to make sure I don't get diarrhea when I put my tablet in.
Looking a little sweaty there, Danielle.
Do you think?
Yeah.
It's because I forgot my hat at home, like an idiot, in the panic while we were running for the bus, which we barely made, so we made the right decision just running. But I think I put my hat back. Oh my God, look, it's so sweaty, it's dripping onto the shirt. I never look like that. It's been my back sweat today too, is it?
Doesn't look as bad as the front. Done 300 meters of elevation, 2.5 kilometers. We go for 1 hour. Oh, sorry, I'm a little sweaty.
No.
But I remember the hat.
She looks fine.
No, I'm a sweaty mess.
You don't look it though, I did.
I feel it.
Brenna was an absolute machine this day. I have no idea how she was playing up the hill with such ease. I was absolutely dying, as you may have just seen. Just putting some of my shame on the internet there. I'm trying to keep this real and show you that it's actually not as easy as some people make out. It is very difficult. It also didn't help that it was a heat wave.
I see the refuge.
Thank God. I'm sorry, but how beautiful are these views? I'm just going to shut up for a minute and let you admire them. That's where we started. Once we got up to the refuge, we were on the hunt for a shady patch. Half of this refuge was like reserved for like dining if you're going to have like a proper lunch, and we didn't want to do that. We just wanted a drink and a bit of cake. Most of the seats were in the sun, which wasn't great, but someone did leave, and then we did manage to find a shady patch. I went in and got the supplies while Brenna admired the views. We both got a can of drink and a cake.
That's where we came down from the other day.
I'm still not over yesterday's gondola situation. I can't get over the smug look on my face just because I've got a piece of cake. The reason we look so smug is because this is the first time we've actually had cash and been able to stop in one of these refuges, because we haven't been that organised and we haven't had cash. So this is a big deal. We've got money and we can afford cake now. Yay. Also, this piece of cake absolutely slapped. And look at this view, honestly. Maybe one of my favourite moments of the whole thing.
We made it up top of the hill, almost at the top of the hill. And there's a refuge called Rifugio Bertone? I actually can't remember, but we're here. It's beautiful. We have indulged in a can of Coke. Well, Danielle's got a can of Coke, I've got a can of Fanta. Had a little slice of cake. I don't really like cake, it was more like a biscuit, like a cookie. It costs €5 for each of the can of drinks and $6.50 for the cake. So $16.50 in total. There was a lizard on the ground.
Sorry about the shoddy camera work. That's what happens when I'm left in charge of it.
It's very warm today. I was feeling a little bit nauseous walking up the hill. Brenna reckons it's because I haven't drank enough water. So I'm going to do that now. Yeah, just going to sit, admire the view, digest our cake. And then it's a tiny little bit more uphill, so we'll do that. Then we're done. It's just a load of wiggly woggling. Well, no, it's still 8 miles. Nowhere near done. It's done about just under 3, and we've got just under 8 to go. So, yeah, beautiful day. Glad I don't have my bag. I think I'd have really struggled trying to do that in my bag. It was pretty up.
Who am I kidding? I did struggle.
Alright, I made it to the top of the hill. Now we're just going to walk along this balcony for like a few hours, I think. There's a refuge in 2 hours. And sorts of ups and downs, but nothing too major.
I honestly think this was maybe one of my favourite days on the whole TMB. But once we got over the hill I wasn't a fan of. Once I had that cake though and that can of Coke, I was really on top of the world. This section was lovely. None of it was particularly steep, it was just like little rolling up and down hills. The views were gorgeous, the wildflowers were stunning, there was cows everywhere. It was quite a busy section though. A lot of people from the town had just come up for day hikes, so definitely a more busy section than what we've done previously, but still, honestly, the views were amazing. Ooh, adventurous. By this point in the day, me and Brenna are starting to get extremely hungry, but there hasn't been anywhere to stop. The last thing we ate was that cake at the top of the hill, and we've been going for quite a few miles. But as luck would have it, there was a refuge around the next bend, which we were extremely grateful to see. And these views, wow. So we decided to stop. You know things were serious because I didn't actually get a beer. I went and got a Coke, and Brenna got a coffee. I wonder what she's thinking about. She looks very serious. Very serious indeed. This can of Coke and coffee was very much needed. And look at these views. We sat here for about half an hour and just relaxed and enjoyed the lovely scenery and waited for the caffeine to kick in.
So we've made it to Rifugio Bonatti. I've gone for a coffee, an Americano, had a little bit of sugar in there, Danielle's got a can of Coke. We're probably going to eat our lunch soon, and we've only got 3 miles left, so 3 miles downhill. We're going to have a little break.
We never did eat our lunch. We decided to run down the hill to catch the bus.
Also, you can probably see, but the view from this one is amazing. Perhaps better than the last one. I feel like every refuge we go to, the view just gets better and better. Also, it costs us $6.50 for 1 Americano and 1 can of Coke.
I really needed a wee the whole way here. There was literally nowhere to go. So we decided to stop and have a drink. The clouds are starting to look a little menacing. If you remember from yesterday, there were some horrendous thunderstorms in the evening. So we are going to try and race our way back down again. It's about 3:30 now.
We've got 3 miles to go, so I'm hoping to do that in about an hour and a half. And then we've got to get a bus, which is about 15 minutes on the bus. So we just need to try and figure out what time that goes and try and line it up and get a wiggle on. We've got to do laundry, we've got to shower, we've got to wash our hair. We've got to make dinner. And hopefully it doesn't rain too early, because last night we were kind of trapped in the tent from like 6 o'clock.
Not ideal.
This campground doesn't have that many options for like just sitting and chilling. But this Rifugio is lovely. I'm also enjoying a Coke. I'm a changed woman, no beer. I need the caffeine, you see.
I'm clearly very proud of myself for not getting that beer. And as you can see, these clouds don't look really menacing, but if you know anything about mountain weather, this means there could be a thunderstorm in about half an hour. As soon as the clouds start forming, they just don't stop. They just get scarier and bigger and greyer. So that's why we're running. As you can see, it is slowly getting worse and worse as these clips go on. Then after skipping lunch, the weather mugged us off on the way down the hill. It actually looked glorious, so we skipped lunch for absolutely nothing. We were rewarded with these beautiful wildflowers though. Plus sides. When we got down to the bus stop, there was quite a crowd of people, and we were a little bit worried about getting on this bus. Which we were right to be, because it was absolutely jam-packed and the driver didn't want to open the door, but he did eventually, and we managed to squeeze on the back. A few people got off and just walked one stop, which was very nice of them. Also, if you do ride the bus, take your backpack off, because that was the main issue. People didn't take their bag off.
That was quite an ordeal, wasn't it? That might have been the busiest bus I've ever been on. We've been on quite a few buses in quite a few countries. Luckily, an old lady shouted at the bus driver and he opened the doors and we managed to squeeze on. Or it would have been an hour walk down very steep roads. Oh well.
I think skipping lunch may have been a bad idea, because we both weren't in the best of moods when we got to camp. In particular, Brenna, you'll hear her rant in a minute. So we made dinner, we had the same as yesterday, and yeah, it was basically like a pasta with some tuna. And then we went to do laundry, the machine was broken, everything was soaking wet in the machine after the rinse had finished. The tumble dryer didn't dry any of it, so then I had to hand wring it out before I could put it in the dryer. Then once it came out the dryer, I then had to hang it up, and then it was still wet in the morning.
€10 wasted.
Do you know what they have done well?
Nothing.
The dish pot area.
Well, there's about 1,000 sinks to wash your dishes, yeah. If you like washing your dishes, come here. But if you want to shower, you want to go to the toilet, you want to charge something, use Wi-Fi, you want a bin, don't bother.
We did go on a little bit of a walk to let off some steam, and Brenna found a cow to have a stare off with, and she did win, so that was a positive end to the day.